Boys, it's finally happening. Pre-orders dropped today for GTA 6, and I couldn't even be more excited about it and everything. I think we're going to talk about quite a few things about it. I got a lot of stuff. I want to talk about the comparisons, compare from GTA 5 to GTA 6. We're going to talk about prices and everything like that. This is great, dude. I mean, we're talking about a game that really defined another genre and everything, and I'm looking forward to it. And it also helped kind of define and brought this whole little group together that we all know and love as the Beers of War. So kick back, relax, crack open a beer, and have a good time. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the Beers of War. All here on the Loading Screen Lounge.
Your bubble, breaking news, it got delayed to 2029 now. Just broke.
Liar. 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 Oh my God. GTA 6. Good. Man, everybody's been waiting for this game to come out for so many years. Like 5 came out in 2013, right? When the Xbox One came out and everything. It was such a worldwide phenomenon. I mean, they sold so many copies. I mean, we're talking about 7 million worldwide here, right? Now they're projecting 39 million copies already reported viral right now for GTA 6. I mean, that's just a testament about how Rockstar is just like really made their games and everything, and how a lot of people have put their faith in it and everything. And honestly, I was getting worried there for a while if this game was ever even going to come out and everything, because it was being delayed all the time. I mean, and then looking right here, opening day revenue for GTA 5, first 24 hours they launched, it was $800 million. These guys are predicting 2 billion to 3 billion projected for GTA 6. And I could see that happening too because of how big this game is. And of course, it is going to be released all on digital. You get 2 different versions of it. You have your standard and you have your ultimate edition. Your boy Bear Ninja right here already got himself the ultimate edition. He's waiting for that stuff to take place. So I'm looking forward to that. And I want to talk to you guys first about the pricing of it. Like, what is your guys' thought process on it? What did you think? And don't hold back on this either. So I'd like to start with you, Bigness. Sir Bigness, tell me, what did you think about the prices that came out? We got $79.99 for the standard version. We got $99.99 for the Ultimate Edition.
Honest to goodness, I'm legitimately pissed off about it.
Yeah.
Not that I didn't want to. I mean, everybody figured it was going to be $100 for the game.
Yeah.
Okay. There were things in that separation, that distinction between the standard edition and deluxe edition, that are critical components to the gameplay itself. If you wanted to do shark cards, or I know NBA 2K, they have the whatever it is, the VC or whatever. If you wanted to add something similar to that, or add money on a shark card, don't remove critical components of the game itself and hide them behind a paywall. That is standalone grade A garbage to me. And this comes on the heels of, or this comes at a time when it really seems like companies, corporations, stockholders, whatever, are trying to squeeze literally every dime out of gamers that they can.
Mm-hmm.
The Steam machine came out and it's something like $1,200. Who's going to do that? Microsoft is raising the price for the entire Xbox system yet again. And I understand parts, components, what have you. PlayStation has raised their prices on the PS5 models. So it really feels like a squeeze. And
Okay.
GTA 6, if they'd have came out with an $80 price point and maybe the standard $70 price point for the standard edition and $80 for the deluxe edition, somewhere in that neighborhood. But who am I? Who am I to tell them how to run their business? But I really feel like it's a squeeze. And am I going to buy it? Sadly, yes. Am I going to buy the deluxe edition? Probably, because it's critical components to the game itself. But I'm not going to be happy about it, and it makes gaming hurt a little bit. So, Matilda, what are your thoughts on it?
First off, Ninja sent a picture out a couple hours ago saying that they sold 39 million copies of it in the first 12 hours of pre-orders. If you were to take the middle ground between the $79.99 and $99.99 price points and just do $89.99 as kind of like an average, that's $3.5 billion they made in 12 hours. And that's just the first 12 hours. Give a couple pay cycles and this game could be doing $50-75 billion in pre-sales. I mean, we had a conversation in our Facebook group this morning, and it's just like we start talking GTA 6 and everybody's in there talking about it. This is a game that brought us all together. And this is a game that's going to bring like I told my wife tonight at dinner, I said this game's going to bring Beers of War back from the dead. I mean, we're still all together, but we just don't game as much. And this game's going to bring us all back together. But to go back onto the whole price point thing, I want to say honestly, we're probably lucky with these price points. And there's a reason I say that. Back in the early 90s, you're talking some of these video games were $79, $79.99 for Super Nintendo games.
Yeah.
If you were, and I went to usinflationcalculator.com and I put in $79.99 and from 1990 compared to today, that's $205.10. We're still theoretically half of what if with inflation and the games went up the same way. So we're still way below half of what should be if you carried inflation from the 90s up to today. So I mean, in one way, yeah, it sucks that it's like that and the way everything's going, it's just like everything else is going up and it just feels like everything's getting more and more expensive. And like you mentioned about the Steam and the Xbox raising prices and PlayStation raising prices on console because of all the chip shortages. There is some hope on the horizon. There is working about trying to put memory into chips now, and that'll revolutionize everything. But until something stabilizes in that market, this is something we're going to have to get used to, especially with consoles. But games, and then I know the biggest complaint I've seen online today and reading Facebook comments on Facebook was, why are we paying this much prices for digital? It'd be different if you're getting a actual physical disc because I think somebody said a Blu-ray disc can only hold 100 gigabytes, and this game's how many gigabytes? 300?
They're predicting anywhere from 150 to 200 worth of storage.
Yeah, I've heard up to
I read
300,
somewhere as much as 600.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I heard that today too. Somebody said $600. Cat's up here trying to play with my damn camera. But
well, it says viral claims of the game is requiring nearly 700 gigs, which is circulated online, but have been widely dismissed by gaming community as fakes or errors. So, I mean, it depends on what you want to go with. We'll only know for sure day one.
right, and it's like with going with that. I mean, before the price is actually officially announced, I mean, everybody was talking almost $200 for this game.
That is correct. That is correct.
And then we're only getting it we're getting basically pretty close to what we pay for normal games anyway. So it's like you can't go off that 700 gigabyte storage just because it's been on the internet, and we've already proven that a lot of the numbers that came out are wrong. I'm kind of on the fence on the pricing. I told the wife, I was like, yeah, we're going to make sure we go ahead and because normally we do the game share for the Xbox and have this. I think I'm gonna go ahead and buy 2 copies just so we both get the perks of all the deluxe stuff in there. I mean, I was watching something today, and all the vehicles you get in there, and you get houses and garages and vehicles and all this stuff just from the deluxe. So I mean, just the perks alone from the deluxe is worth the extra $20. So I'm kind of in the middle on the whole price thing. Anybody else want to add anything?
Oh, yeah, I'd like to add a little something to it. My turn. I'm going to veer more towards, and this is probably the first in Beers of War history, agree with Matilda. Because honestly, I think the price, to me, I think the price was decent considering the magnitude of the game that they are going to be releasing out. Okay. And how much they put into this, how much the process went through to get into it and everything. And I understand now, which we will talk about, why they're not releasing a physical edition right away, because they will. It'll happen. But this right here can definitely assure that they're going to be hitting their mark, if not more, when they start off on the digital platform. So $79.99 for the standard, yes. And I agree with Matilda for sure. You know, back in the day with Super NES games, we were paying that kind of price, or pretty damn close to it for games and everything. Well, we're 30 years into the future now, man. Here we are, and we're playing games that are damn near like playing real life, you know, in some ways. GTA 6 is going to be a very grand scale game, and it's going to be just like any other game. And me personally, I think you're going to either love it or hate it, you know, whatever the case may be. But so many people have been waiting for this game, and now it's time to like stop being disappointed, because it's finally happening in our lifetime, gentlemen. So $79.99 I think was okay, because we did talk about this before about how the price was going to be. You know, people predicted it well over $100, 120, maybe a little bit more and everything. And I think Rockstar did it right. I think they're giving us a fighting chance about it, so that way everybody can get in on it and play it and everything. And of course, we're going to see sales a couple of years down the road and whatnot. And I think it's okay. I personally pre-ordered the $99.99 Ultimate Edition and everything. I wanted to get the additional perks. I figured, why the hell not? Right? It's definitely going to be a day one play for me and everything. I'm ready for it, and I really want to see this new landscape that they've put out for it, because it's, from what I understand, it's the whole Vice City. I've tried not to watch a whole lot of the trailers or anything like that, because I just don't want anything to get ruined for me and whatnot. So I'm really looking forward to this game. I'm looking forward to the campaign, because obviously online is not going to be a thing right away. I don't know if you guys read that or not, but it is not going to be a thing right away, which doesn't surprise me, because I do believe they did the same thing when it came to GTA 5 when it came out. So that's my thought process on it when it comes to the pricing and everything. And I'm okay with it. I've made peace with it and everything, and I'm good with it, and I'm just ready. I'm just ready to play this game, because this game really, like you said, it brought a lot of people together. It brought us together. It really made us a whole family and everything. And, you know, here we are. Beers of War. Matter of fact, this symbol was made through the iFruit app on GTA 5 and everything. And it's been with us ever since, you know, in some capacity. So very, I mean, I'm loud and proud. Look at the shit right there. There you go. So that's my take on it.
Oh,
Okay.
going back on what they made in the first 12, roughly estimate, it's just off of some quick math, $3.5 billion in 12 hours. It's been reported the game cost anywhere between 1.5 and $2 billion to develop over the years. If that number, $3.5 billion, is correct, they made their money back in 12 hours plus extra. If that doesn't tell you how long people have been waiting for this game, I think the only game that may rival this in terms of sales is Elder Scrolls 6. I mean, it probably won't do as much as GTA, but the hype's going to be up there once it gets announced. And the rumor is Bethesda is working on it. I've heard they're talking like a 2030 time frame.
My opinion on that, they better get it out sooner than that, because Bethesda's in trouble. And they're also under that Microsoft umbrella. And Microsoft has got a bad habit about closing studios, if you've been reading the video game news lately.
I think Bethesda.
I hope.
I just think if they can get away from Fallout 76, I think that will keep them afloat until they get Elder Scrolls done.
That right there. Yeah.
But question is granted, there's a lot of people that play Fallout 76, and there's a lot of people that still play Elder Scrolls Online, so they're probably still getting a little bit of cash revenue rolling in every month.
Let me ask you boys this, about kind of circling back to GTA 6 right here. Why do you think they decided to go all digital starting off?
I sent a video right before, a little bit before we got on. I don't know if you guys seen it, but the guy who's in the video, I watched some of his other videos. He repairs. It's not the Tronics Fix guy, but he repairs broken equipment, consoles and stuff. And he made the comment that the reason he thinks they're going digital is so at the very beginning, every purchase goes straight to Rockstar. You can't that way you can't go and trade your copy in at GameStop and go buy a copy $10 off at GameStop. You buy everything's coming straight through Rockstar. So they're at the beginning, they're getting 100%.
That's okay. So that's new for me to hear. The one thing I heard about the most was they wanted to start off digital because they wanted to protect the game from being leaked and everything. Because it is no secret that there's been plenty of game stores, especially, it could have been GameStop or wherever, sales reps would actually sell the game a little bit early before they were supposed to release the game and everything. I know that for a fact that that's happened with it and everything and whatnot. So they were in fear of that would hinder the market value right there, because they knew people were going to get this game one way or another, whether you're a physical media collector or not. It was going to happen, and that was probably one of the smartest moves I think they did, just so they can maximize their profit, because at the end of the day, it is a business for them.
It is. I have a question for you. This stands to be the biggest media release of any type, game, movie, TV show, at least of the decade, possibly of all time. It is 2026. The game will come out at the end of this year. What could possibly knock GTA 6 off its perch as the biggest media release of at least the decade? And I'm throwing it all out there. Movies, TV show, video game. What could be bigger than this? And I mean sports too.
Remotely close, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know when it's coming out. Movie wise, Doomsday, possibly. Game wise, the only one I could remotely think of, and I know it's probably not going to surpass it, but I'm only saying this, maybe I'm being biased about it because I'm a huge fan. The Gears of War E-Day. Already pre-ordered that too. But that's just my guess. Probably not right.
I'm gonna kind of go the route of Beer Ninja and take the biased route. I think Voltron movie is just gonna blow everything away and set all kinds of records. But honestly, I think the only thing that may come close would be Elder Scrolls 6, because I can't even sports wise. Honestly, there's one thing I think could knock it off sports wise, and it's an event that's going right now. I honestly think if the United States could win the World Cup, it would be gangbusters.
Yes. That is the only thing. That is the only thing. And I don't mean in terms of revenue, but I mean like the biggest thing, period.
Yeah, because I mean that's probably considered, outside of the Stanley Cup, it's probably one of the most prestigious trophies to win.
Yeah, I mean it is the most prestigious. It's I know we're a bit U.S. centric, but I mean the World Cup is 10 times the event that the Super Bowl is. I mean, it's every 4 years. It's virtually every nation in the world can compete for this if they get through all the trials and all that, or all the tournaments.
Yeah.
So it is the biggest thing, and that may be the only thing. I mean, hell, the Knicks just won the basketball championship. We're not even talking about them, and it's been a week and a half.
And you were talking about like the World Cup and about Super Bowl. Each game is equivalent to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I mean, they're selling out every stadium that they're in right now, and there's like 90 some total games.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you could probably honestly the championship game that's going to happen in the middle of July, you could probably have a stadium 3 times as big as MetLife Stadium, I think is where it's going to be at.
It is
the capacity.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
You could put a stadium with 500,000 seats in it, and people are going to pay to go to that game, no matter who's in it. I mean, if you've watched all the stuff that's been going around of all the Europeans around in the United States, they're having a blast everywhere they go. One of the ranch companies is going to make travel size ranch bottles so they can get through TSA, because apparently ranch is not a thing in Europe.
And it's been one of the dopest things I've seen in a long, long time is people from the rest of the world coming over here to the United States, or going to Mexico, or going to Canada, and being like, wow. Just the food and the like the Japanese going to Mexico and discovering salsa, or like real authentic salsa. Brits coming to the United States and discovering and like tasting Texas barbecue for the first time, and the Scottish literally drinking all the beer in Boston has
Yeah,
been one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
Yeah, they're drinking everybody out of Sam Adams and Sam Adams Light everywhere they go. But yeah, I was like, I watched a video yesterday where some Europeans were in a Texas barbecue joint, and the owner come up to him because one of the guys was about to use a fork to eat his ribs, and he's like, "Oh no, 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 no!" He's like, "I wish I would have got over here sooner." He says, "No, use your hands to eat it." But yeah, you're watching these people just trying stuff that they don't have over there. I
Yeah.
mean, biscuits and gravy is not a thing over there, and people are going crazy for biscuits and gravy over here. I mean, there was a British guy I saw, and he was getting all excited and looked like he was having an orgasm because he was eating Cracker Barrel biscuits and gravy, and it was like one of the best things ever.
I mean, it is. Yeah, they are good. They are mighty damn good.
I don't think I've ever had their biscuits and gravy, but I mean, it's funny because you're watching all these people come through and trying all this different stuff, and it's like they don't have this stuff over there. I don't even think they have Mountain Dew over there anymore in the UK. I mean, just like ranch is a big thing. Now, like I said, one of the companies is going to start making the 3.5 travel ounce containers so they can take it back in their carry-on. It's just like you said, it's just something else for this event, and I think this is probably 5 times bigger than it was in '94 when it came to the U.S.
Yeah. That was very cool.
Plus, in the 20-some years, 30 years since the last time it was here, football/soccer has grown exponentially just in the United States alone.
Yes.
So, I mean, now we've got guys that are being born here, growing up here, and then going over to Europe and playing in some of the top leagues.
Yeah. Pulisic.
Yep. And there's a
Okay.
couple other guys on the U.S. squad that play in the English Premier League. So it's slowly getting there. But yeah, I think honestly that'll be the biggest thing that I think could rival for the next 20 years, could rival GTA 6.
I agree. I agree.
And
So
then probably, I don't know, if you carry the timetable on, GTA 7 would probably beat GTA 6.
We'll probably be in like nursing homes when that game comes out.
if we follow the same timeline, I will be 66 years old when GTA 7 comes out.
You can buy it with
I'll
your
still
social
be
security check.
doing it.
I'll put it like this. I hope I am 67 years old or 66 years old when GTA 7 comes out. Just because I hope I'm alive.
Let me talk to you guys about a sting I have about video gaming. And this is the I know there's been other games that have been like that's happened to it. The one that stands out to me the most was Borderlands 4 when it came out, because they had like this Ultimate Edition, had all this stuff and everything. But guess what it didn't have? The game. It didn't have a physical copy of the game. So they're going to be doing the same thing with GTA 6. They're going to be releasing these physical boxes that has these codes on it, and I don't know, maybe some other stuff in it or whatnot. I don't even know. I've been a collector for a very long time, and I'm kind of at awe with that, because I don't even know if that's really something that as a collector would want to have in their collection. Hey, guess what? I got a game right there that doesn't actually have a game in it. I mean, I don't know what to say that. And, and to be honest with you, I'm probably going to be stupid for saying this. I'll probably get it just to add it to the collection and everything. But then there's, I don't know if it's rumors or if it's actual news reports, because they did talk about actually having a physical edition coming out, but it's not going to come out for, a couple months or maybe a few more months after that. Who knows or
I heard
anything.
December. IGN reported December. I think it was IGN that said that.
Somebody
Okay.
reported December, and then somebody else could be a few months afterwards. So you figure within the first year for sure.
Yeah, I get that. I get that. And when we get it and everything, yeah, who knows how much we're going to sell that for? I mean, maybe it'll just be like how they're porting everything to other consoles and whatnot, or coming out with other editions, just like how they really milked Skyrim. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it could be a number of things, with that. I just don't understand on a physical edition. I get that we've talked about it, that physical media is starting to fade away, but in some ways, it's starting to make a comeback and everything now. So now I'm starting to get a little confused because all you hear is what you see on the internet, and these are mostly people's other opinions and stuff. You don't even know if it's reliable sources and information that they're getting from and whatnot. I love GTA. I love the franchise. I've been playing it since my first introduction to the series was actually GTA Vice City, which is, from what I understand, Six is going to be taking us to Vice City. So it's almost like a full circle for me in a way when it comes to something like this, and I know I'm going to love the game, and I can't wait for online to happen, and I'll probably put several hours in it and everything like that. But it's just like, I don't even know why they would even bother wasting the time to just send you an empty case with no disc in it, but just the DLC code and everything. I don't understand why companies do that now. So maybe you
For
can help me out.
collectors. Strictly for collectors.
And I am a collector, but I don't want to have a game that doesn't have a game in it. It doesn't make sense. All right. It's like the Nintendo Switch with their cartridges and everything. It's not even a game on there. You got to put it in there and download it. And
Yep.
it's really the same thing. It doesn't make sense to me,
It's exactly the same thing.
It's almost like that video, or that little gag video GIF I sent you guys earlier today, where it's the scene from Dumb and Dumber, and it opened up the suitcase full of IOUs. And it's basically what it's going to be like for some of these people that buy the actual case of it with the code on the inside. Is just you get basically an IOU type thing. But there's probably I mean, it's probably what we were just mentioning earlier, a little bit of what I said about Rockstar trying to get to maximize the first initial punch of cash directly to them, so that way there's no resale market on it. And then maybe a little bit of what Ninja said about people trying to get a hold of the copies early. But the only thing I would say where I don't really buy that as a reason is the way technology is right now. They could always put a code in there that doesn't allow the game to work till a certain time on a certain day.
There's always somebody figuring something out about that, though, dude.
Because
they can figure out to hack your bank account. They can do stuff like that. I'm just saying.
I know there was once with something with Xbox about 10 where a game was leaked early, like a few days early, and people were actually stupid enough to try to play the game it was online when they tried to install and play it, and Xbox bricked their Xboxes because they couldn't have it. So
yeah, I mean, they should. If you're not doing what you're supposed to do with it, I mean, I can't be mad at that.
Yeah, I mean, because now you've got something that's not supposed to be out yet. Now there is certain people do get like certain people who content creators and stuff will get a copy a week or two early to be able to kind of do the reviews on it. But I mean, that's going to be a select few. So we're coming up on the half-hour mark, guys. You want to anything else anybody wants to add?
I got we had talked about so first of all, how is the Dirty Bastard?
Gonna get me dirty later on. I'm gonna tell you that. This is really good actually for a Scottish ale and everything. You can definitely taste, and we're not sponsored by them in any way or anything like that, but we do appreciate a good beer when we get one. Definitely has that caramelized, notes of it, that sweetness and everything. So it's actually not it's really good, actually. I'm really enjoying it. Matter of fact, I really wish I would have poured this in a glass or something like that. I'm just going to drink it straight from the bottle.
I don't know if you've played this game, but Ninja and I have, and it's a game that sparked a little bit of controversy a while back. It's been a while since we filmed one of these videos, so the controversy kind of cropped up in between our gap, I guess you could say. There's a game called Mixtape, and it was a Game Pass game. Or it is a Game Pass game that
no physical
was rated, got a lot of perfect scores. I mean, people played it and it got a lot of perfect scores. And there was an enormous backlash from a certain segment of the gaming community about this game getting those perfect scores because it doesn't play like your typical game. It is very much more of an experience, almost an interactive movie. I'm going to share a few thoughts, if that's all right with y'all. And Ninja, you played it, so you please share your thoughts as well. And talk a little bit about this game and where it kind of resonated with the two of us, or resonated at least with me. This game, first of all, is set in the Pacific Northwest in the mid to late 1990s, which to me was one of the best times of my life. And if you lived during that time, it was pre-cell phone. It was almost pre-internet. Like the internet was just literally beginning to get into people's households. And the game itself was very much a pullback to that time when you're a young person. It featured 3 high school age kids, which I was a little bit older than that during that time period. But it was one of those things where the star of the game wasn't even the characters. The star of the game was the music. It used music to do what most of us, or what I did during that time period, is it allowed music to really convey things that I did not feel or I could not articulate emotionally. Like, the music really punches you in the heart. And if you're from that time period where you listen to a lot of the grunge music and a lot of even like punk rock and those kind of things, the music really took you to a place where it said the words for you. And so the reason why I feel like that game was literally a perfect game is not because of the gameplay itself. It was because the idea behind anything, any piece of art, music, sports, whatever, is to make you feel something. And this game made me feel like I was 19 years old again. And that is something that no piece of media, aside from music itself, has ever done. And it hit me dead center in my heart, in a place where I was happy and free and devoid of responsibilities, perhaps a little too devoid of responsibilities. But it genuinely, that game itself, just thinking about playing that game and thinking about certain segments of that game, make me genuinely happy in a way that I don't think any other piece of media ever has. And so I'm gonna pass it to Ninja. Ninja, what did you think about Mixtape?
My impressions of Mixtape, actually, it kind of, in a way, there's so many. I'm really trying to put my words here. It really kind of for one, you don't exactly have to have been, around in this time in order to enjoy the game, because I think the message behind the game was about, camaraderie, friendship, but it also took the music to actually kind of put you in that whole perspective. We got different genres, different eras of people who grew up with different type of music, and I grew up around, 80s and 90s. That was my Graceland years and everything. And music, in a way, is kind of a way of life, which I think this game kind of like really distributed out there to kind of put it out there for you. Because I can think of songs and remember exactly where I was at that time, back in the 80s or the 90s or anything like that at all, and just kind of playing through it and everything. These characters were relatable in some ways, especially the main character to me and everything, because she really put a whole lot of thought into creating this life soundtrack before, the big event at the end of the game and everything. And we did that back in the day in some ways. We did burn CDs and all that kind of stuff, even before that. I'll even go before that. We even like recorded stuff off the radio on cassette tapes. I had one. We all did and everything. And it was just like, you just have this music right here because it meant something to you, and you don't even have to like or even know the music. Some of the songs in that game I didn't even recognize, but I listened to them and I can relate to them, and they did have some heavy hitters, in the list and everything. And to be honest with you, I would really like to see more games push something out like that, maybe do the next generation or something like that. They can make a trilogy out of it if they really wanted to and everything. So, and it was just kind of fun, just kind of playing through because, even when we were back as kids and everything, it's like, your mom thinks you're a perfect little angel, but if you really must know, you only know about half the stuff we did bad back in the day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just like, it's always been an adventure because back then, we had our own life, we had our own adventures and everything. Adults don't think kids do that, but they do. We live them, we experience them, and everything. I think that's what this game really brought out of it. And there's going to be people out there that will not like the game, and that's fine. That is perfectly fine. That's the whole point about being a gamer. Where if we were all the same, then this whole thing just would be really for nothing. In my opinion, that's the whole thing about just having uh, camaraderie and even in some cases culture differences. Let's do that. So I really enjoyed the game. I think it was the best $20 I ever spent so far. It was right up there with Minecraft, which was also the best $20 I ever spent so far. So I recommend Mixtape if you just want to have a good vibe game, just play through it and everything. And yeah, so that was my take on it. I really enjoyed it. It's a good game.
Good deal. Good
I
deal.
have no opinion. I have no opinion of it because I know nothing about this game.
It's definitely one you should, I mean, if you like grunge music from the 90s, if you remember that, and even more than that, if you remember a life before cell phones, that I think that's the thing that was the most stark about it, because people were genuinely experiencing life without a device attached to them. And unfortunately, I don't think people do that very much anymore. They don't really experience life.
No. You can experience life without a cell phone, and we did back in those days, because especially if you were a person who lived in a smaller town. I can remember when I lived back in Goodyear, Arizona and everything, I had a lot of adventures, a lot of stuff, got in trouble a lot, had a lot of fun with my friends. We traveled, went to the mountains and all that kind of stuff. You didn't need a cell phone.
No.
You got the memories and everything like that. Those specific spots and those places, and it was just kind of fun just doing something like that. Nowadays with the cell phone, I just kind of we got a generation that's running on it and everything, and that's really all they live and breathe and whatnot. But I'm really, and I'm not trying to diss them in any way, because they're living their own life and everything. I'm just glad we had the opportunity to live our lives in the 70s, 80s, and 90s and whatnot. So, that's why we're a bunch of old dirty bastards. So
I'm in that mini generation that's kind of like the end of the pre-tech internet and everything else. So I think it's called the Zennials. That's where I fall in at. So, but no, I'll have to look into it. Maybe watch some videos on it, and maybe even look about possibly looking into buying it.
all I have to say is just have an open mind when you get into it. It's all about a story. That's really what it is, man.
It really is.
Yeah, because I recently downloaded Red Dead, the first one, because apparently for some reason was able to get it for free on Xbox. It's like games you're interested in, and I got the remastered version of it with it, so for free. So I was like, okay, cool, I'll just re-download it.
I started playing it myself. You guys are getting on to me about not playing Red Dead. Another, from what I understand, a classic Rockstar game, and then following up with 2. So,
oh boy, just be prepared.
I think that's everything on my end. I don't have anything else to add.
I think we're good.
So who wants to take us out?
I'll do so, but I'll have to get this open first. We're going to do blueberry pancake shot. What I've got here is I've got some Eggo sipping cream.
Wait, that's a mixed drink?
It's going to be a mixed drink, yes.
Oh, I mean, no, the Eggo. Okay.
Eggo makes a sipping cream. And if you are familiar with Facebook, you know about Pepper Belly Pete. He is a internet chef who lives in this area. And he got some blackberry syrup that I got from him at a barbecue festival in Nacogdoches, Texas, that our beloved Beer Ninja was able to attend with us, called a Dudette Barbecue.
So you're telling me you got a drink that tastes like blueberry pancakes, and the official Beers of War drink is an Irish breakfast, which coincidentally tastes like eating pancakes. Definitely sensing a theme here.
Well, I mean, this is the cornerstone of any nutritious breakfast.
No, not
So
going to
I'm gonna
argue
mix,
with you on that.
I'm gonna mix these things up. I'm doing this for the first time on camera, so I pray to God this doesn't congeal, and it looks like it is. But
Oh,
we're gonna
man.
do it anyway. So
Speaking of, since you bought that from him, did you buy any of his Zippy Zap sauce?
yes, I bought Zippy
How is
Zap.
How is it?
It is fantastic. It is a flavorful yet still spicy hot sauce.
It's just one thing with hot sauces a lot of people go away from. It's just they go for heat and not flavor.
Not this guy. It can be as hot as hell. As long
Mhm.
as it's got flavor, I'm cool with it.
This is congealing, and it looks like a science project, but we're gonna do it anyway because Mama didn't raise no punk. Um, look, first of all, I want to thank every one of you who has watched. I want to thank these two gentlemen here for getting us together again. It was great to just chat again about video games, about life a little bit, about mixtape, about the things that make us happy. Been too long, and hope it isn't this long again. From headquarters, from the control room, and from the library. If you drink, may you drink with me.
Here's a war.
Beers of War.